So hello, and this is part one of my traverse across the Alps from end to end. The reason I'm able to keep driving forward with this crazy journey is because I have this drive to want to move. Over the past 8 years, I've backpacked across mountain ranges throughout Europe. Some of them in some pretty tricky places. I've just been with the border police for like over an hour regarding my movements across into the next republic and through Russia. I also got into scrambling and mountaineering, and in my spare time I like going hill running. So in 2021 I set off on a journey that I hoped would combine all of these things into one route. My goal was to backpack 1900 kilometres across the entire length of the Alps, and along the way I'd be linking up technical trails via ferratas and mountaineering routes. I hoped to carry everything that I needed in my rucksack and camp as much as I could. My journey would begin at the eastern end of the Alps in Slovenia, and it would end right by the Mediterranean Sea in Monaco. I anticipated it'd take me perhaps 10 weeks to cover the whole distance. So yeah, my route, it was about 1900 kilometres I wanted to do to get me all the way across the top of the Alps. And the route I followed was actually made by my friend John.
Hello, this is me. Nicely bridged in the gully, probably can't see. Huh?
John is a very experienced mountaineer and fell runner and has done all kinds of crazy long 24-hour rounds in like Scotland.
I'm about to start. It's gonna be like this all the way. Oh, it's drifted hard. This is about the best I can do for sleep.
He crossed the Alps in 2015 and made this amazing video about it that I saw when I was just getting into hiking in the mountains. And I remember watching it and just being so inspired, thinking, how is this guy doing all of this distance every day and all of these technical climbs and stuff? And then actually John and I became friends over the next few years. Really fun guy to go out and walk with.
To comment much into this. The route we want is number 55.
And so when it came to me crossing the Alps, I just thought straight away, like, I just need to follow John's route because it looks amazing. And so he gave me his itinerary, and then I just thought, John did this in about 2 months. It'll take me at least 2.5 to 3 months if I'm going to manage it. And so I planned to set off in June and I'd have like the whole summer. But then June turned to the start of July. So halfway through July, life just got in the way and I still hadn't left. And it wasn't until the last week of July that I actually set off. So I got to the start of the route in Slovenia, not really feeling like I'd have time maybe to even do it all. Hello, I'm in Slovenia, just south of the Triglav National Park. Yeah, it's beautiful here. Look at Slovenia. Oh man. Lovely, lovely place. Yeah, I'm gonna get started now and just start climbing up. Guys, I'm not giving any of you any food. Today I've come over that peak up there, Porizon, I think it's pronounced. From the south I've come down and then up again. And it's so beautiful here. So many cool forests. The way that I approach a long hike is to break it down into manageable chunks. You begin to see the mountains as terrain and you focus on dividing them up into the next day's walk. You've got to consider your daily distance and, more importantly, your daily elevation, because that's where the fatigue comes from. You've got to keep an eye on the weather, the conditions, and how these things can all interact throughout the day. It means studying the map carefully, picking out potential camp spots, water sources, and places to buy food. Every evening you lie down to sleep in a new place, and it gives you that chance to reflect on the day's challenges and then what lays ahead. This is my bed for the night. Very homely. Yeah, like really solid day today in the end actually. Travelling here all through the night, didn't really sleep. Set off at 10 a.m. and did about 27k, at least 2,000 metres of climb. The good thing about being here is if the weather's really rubbish in the morning, I have options because I'm in a position where I can come down from the ridge and just traverse below it. Day 2. Oh man, so thirsty. The weather's just kept getting better and better, so I've got views now, it looks amazing. But yeah, there's obviously no water on a limestone ridge, and I didn't carry enough with me. It's pretty stupid, very stupid. The Julian Alps in Slovenia are characterised by their white limestone, the lack of water, the steep dramatic valleys and huge forests. Coming to the end of day 2 now, and it's beautiful here. I've come all along that ridge in the distance, along there. My only regret from those early days is that I didn't film more, but it felt more important to just focus on making ground and building confidence in my legs for what lay ahead. Done over 30k today, well over 2,000 up and down. Feel really good though, really enjoying the first few days. I thought my fitness would be a lot worse than it is. It's great. John's route didn't waste any time in getting into the high terrain. By day 3 I was already stood on the summit of Triglav, which at 2,800 metres is the highest point in Slovenia. On day 4 it was on to 2 more high peaks which I linked together, Razor and Prisojnik. So that's Razor up there where I'm going next, and then back down to here, come up from down there, and then I go over that guy. Oh, this is the top of Razor. Just come from over there. It's Triglav over there, where I was yesterday. I've never really done via ferrata before, and having to do it amongst all these long days of walking with a heavy bag on is quite a difficult way to learn. Each one of these peaks that I was climbing would be a day out in its own right to a local walker with a day pack on, but I was linking several of them together, carrying everything that I needed on my back, so it meant that it was really tiring from the offset. Just on my way down to the pass before the next peak, and I've just come down here. It's really tricky route finding at times. Even the stuff between the via ferrata in this high part of Triglav Park, it's just, yeah, everything's really scrambly, slippy, loose, requires a lot of concentration, and I just feel knackered. I feel really sleepy. But I soon found that by following John's route instead of a hiking route, I was just being led into the most amazing places. There we go, just come up that bit, that was actually really nice. Whoa, oh man, that is so cool. These valleys, they're huge valleys here, they just look so dramatic. Look at that. So this is where I'm going next, and that is the peak up there, Prisojnik. Well, that is where I was earlier, on top of Prisojnik. Those first 4 days just went by in a blur, and before I knew it, I'd crossed the entire Triglav National Park and was about to leave Slovenia. First running water I've properly seen in a while. Typical that it's now when it's about to rain, I'd love to just wash all my clothes and myself. Good morning. It is the morning, I'm tired, I'm walking down a big valley, and then I'm going to go into Austria, and I'm going to walk along the border of Austria and Italy for maybe a week, I don't know. Depends how knackered I am and how rubbish the weather gets. Having crossed the Julian Alps, I moved into the Carnic Alps, which lay along the border of Austria and Italy. We're in Austria, mate. I'm in Austria, and Italy's over there. Slovenia is now behind me. Went to a little shop before I left Slovenia. There's dinner for today sorted. Finally starting to head west, which feels nice since I very much need to go west. Currently smashing out a big climb back up after coming down through a little pass in Austria where the road is. Just looking over at the Julian Alps where I've been. Looks like there's some weather coming in. Oh, so I've climbed up into a storm basically and it's about to come right over. But I have found some creepy old, I think they're like military barracks. This is creepy. Some old porn magazine. Oh man. Oh, what is this place? It's massive. Echo. There's a bed. I'll tell you what, I don't care how long this storm lasts, I'm not sleeping in here. The terrain during these first few days in the Carnic Alps was much easier. It was just long forested trails with easy climbs and there was no one around. But that meant that I had to face challenges on my own. My bag's falling apart and I'm very scared. I'm going to show you what's happening to it. So you can see the strap that is coming all out there, and then it's pulled away and torn a big hole in the bottom of the bag, and the same thing is starting to happen on the other side as well. It's actually really scary because like if the shoulder straps were to just tear off in the middle of nowhere, then that's like a really big problem because you can't even like walk out very easily when you can't wear your bag. So yeah, let's hope that my less than refined sewing skills are up to the job. Well, it's 11:15. I've just finished my late night sewing session. I really hope that I've fixed my bag well enough for it to survive. Well over 30k today, well over 2,000 up and down, so no change there. That is just a pace I've got to stick to. Movement of just going and the rhythm and staying in that movement, yeah, I really enjoy that for what it is. It's really feels really nice. The reason I love being outside in all kinds of ways really is the feeling of movement and immersion and concentration that it can give to me. On the top of the Winkel, and now I'm going over onto that one, down then up to Roskapel. Okay, via ferrata number 2 of the day, heading up this way. As John's route led me off of any walking trails and across the high mountains, I found that climbing brought a different kind of movement and concentration. The noise of worry would just fade away and the world floods in and you just concentrate on the rock in front of you and all of the detail that's there. Still like over 20k to do today and it's midday, so best get a move on. The downside was that I often ended up high up on a via ferrata late in the afternoon, and that could lead to getting caught in some pretty bad weather. I'm being brave. I'm trying to get over one more via ferrata up a high peak before the weather turns rubbish. Kleine Trieb, and that's High Trieb. That's the weather coming in. Right now I'm just praying I don't hear that first crack of lightning. Oh, because that would not be good right now. Okay, made it up here really quick as I could, and I'm gonna get down as quick as I can as well because it is just getting worse now. So yeah, time to go to Italy. It's getting rainy. I'm getting down there. Run, run, run. What a day. This is where I'm sleeping. It's so cool to have these amazing huts that you can just get into. To celebrate being in Italy, I'm cooking up some bolognese, and someone actually left some nice olive oil here, so I'm going to be using some of that and some salt, thanks to whoever did that. But yeah, this place is like, oh, it's awesome. Yeah, and it's storming now, so yeah, it just feels so like cozy in here, knowing that I'm safe from the weather. Look outside. Well, I'm going somewhere up there, apparently. I don't know if it is good or bad that I can't see what I'm climbing into, but it definitely makes it feel more exciting. The crux of the route up here, apparently. Let's see what it's like. Climbing up into the thick cloud towards the 2,800 metre summit of Kellerspitzen. Nothing could have prepared me for what I found there. So I'm going along there. It's a Kellerspitzen. Although it felt like a wild and peaceful place, this ridgeline separating Austria and Italy had been a living nightmare for many during World War One. So right up here, you've got remains from the fighting in the First World War. What a place to have to fight. I can't even imagine. Apparently more of the soldiers died from rock falls, avalanches, lightning than from the actual artillery and stuff. Oh, this is mad. You're in like this super crazy terrain, but there's just like a path running through it. I guess that's thanks to the soldiers. Just such like an eerie place. Really eerie. Strange. I just can't believe people lived up here fighting. I just can't imagine it. It must have been absolutely terrifying. Although I'd already seen hundreds and thousands of names on gravestones to mark the soldiers who died, walking through the actual remains of where they'd been made it real. It wouldn't be the last reminder that I got during that early stage of the walk as to just how harsh and unforgiving the mountains can be. This is the worst situation I've ever been in. Shit.